it's Sana and welcome to Year 2 Phonics. It's lesson 36 already. It's a phonics focus today. Let's activate our phonemic awareness and tune our heads in to listen for the sounds. We're going to use the graphemes to help us today as well. Are you ready to go? Let's go. Our first word we're going to do is group. Can you say the sounds in group? G, r, oop. Let's find the graphemes. G, r, oo, p. Group. Now let's start to change them around a little bit. We're going to change group to croup. Which sound do you need to change to do that? Group to croup. Yep, you're going to change out that g for a k. Croup. We're going to change the last sound now. Listening carefully, we're going to change the p to a th. What word's that going to make? Tap it out if you need to. I'm going to show you with the graphemes so you can check it. Cruth. Is that a real word? No, it's not. It's a silly word. It's a nonsense word. I should have warned you before you tried to make it. But cruth is a nonsense word or a pseudo word. Ready for the next word? We're going to take out the r from cruth. What's that going to give us? Did you get it already? Should we check it with our graphemes? K-ooth, couth. Well done. One last change. We're going to change that k sound to a y at the start. What's that going to make? I think you'll get it before I find the graphemes to match. Did you get it? Youth. Well done. Now that we've activated our phonemic awareness, we've done a little bit with our graphemes. Let's get onto our grapheme deck and make sure that we've really got those graphemes going as well. Wonder how quickly we can do them today. You ready? Two sounds, s and z. Short, I, long, I. Two sounds, E as in key, A as in grey. Air, sh. Oi, usually middle or beginning of words. Z, you, or oo. You in cube and oo in flute. F, I, or k. End of a short word after a short vowel sound. A, usually at the end of words. Better not cover it up. Qu, Q and U always go together. Our first choice for spelling. Two sounds, hard, g, soft, j. E. DGE making j, end of a short word after a short vowel sound. Two sounds this time. Can you remember them? Ow is in house and oo is in soup. Our last sound today is ch. We're going to do something with this sound today too. We're going to learn another one. So we do know that it can make ch as in cheese. We know it can make k as in school, and it can make sh as in chef. We're going to explore a little bit more about it making sh as in chef today. Are you ready? We'll start with our definitions as well. A phoneme. Can you remember a phoneme? A phoneme is a single sound in a word. A grapheme is a letter or a group of letters that make one phoneme, represent a phoneme. A digraph is two letters that make one sound. Trigraph is three letters that make one sound. Sometimes we might have a quadgraph. A quadgraph is four letters that make one sound. Remember our syllables. A syllable is a beat in a word. It always has a vowel sound. We have our vowel-R combinations. A vowel-R combination is a syllable that has at least one vowel followed by the letter R. That letter R is a little bit tricky and it changes the vowel sound. Let's have a look now then at our learning intention for today. Our learning intention today is to use the grapheme CH to represent the phoneme sh to read and write words. So here it is, sh as in chef. So CH as in chef makes a sh sound, CH, sh. Let's have a look at doing our skywriting. Let's activate those big body movements and get it into our brain that today when we read and write our words, when we see the letters C and H, they're going to be making a sh sound. Are you ready? You got your skywriting fingers ready? 2 fingers. You're going to go as big as you can. I have to be a little bit smaller or you won't see everything I'm doing. Are you ready? Want to make sure you're doing it. Follow with me. We're going to do it how many times? 3 times. Ready? C, H, sh. C, H, sh. C, H, sh. Well done. You know what's next, don't you? Make sure you've got something to write on and something to write with. If you need to pause and come back, do that. Otherwise, let's practice writing our CH making sh. Okay, ready? CH making sh. Have to say it as you write it. I'm listening. Don't get away with just writing it and not saying it. I'm listening really carefully. C, H, sh. C, H, sh. C, H, sh. My handwriting's not too bad today. I hope yours is nice and neat. And remember, we've been teaching you that if you like, because you're year 2s and we can be a bit tricky, we can link the letters. So we link the sound and we make that connection that they're one sound. So let's try linking. I'll show you what it looks like if you want to have a go of linking those letters. So we've got C and then it goes straight up and down, up and over to make the H. Ch. Oh, not ch. Silly me. It's sh. I heard you correct me. I know you got it right. C-H, sh. Well done. Let's do it again. 2 more times. Let's lock it in our brains. It's not locked in my brain yet, is it? I definitely need those 2 spare practices. C-H, sh. One more. C-H, sh. Well done. Did you get tricked like I did? If you did, write them 2 more times just to make sure it's really locked in. Okay, well done. Let's have a look now at where CH making sh came from, because it's not a very common spelling. Not a lot of words have CH making sh. It comes from the French language. So usually words that have CH making sh come from French. It's a long time ago, the French went to England and they changed some of their language. We're going to find out a little bit more about that in later lessons. So there we go. CH making sh, often in French words. Let's have a read of some words that use CH making sh. There are lots of words here today that you might not have heard before, because remember I said there's not a lot of words that have CH making sh, and some of them are tricky words or fancy words we don't use very often. So we'll go through today, and instead of just picking some words to explain, we're going to explain all the words on here to make sure you really understand them. So you ready? We can still sound all these out though. Let's go. Tap and say in the first line. Remember, CH is making sh, sh, F, sh, F, chef. Well done. Like what we saw on our card before. Sh. This is an oo sound, split vowel. Shoot, shoot. Chic, chic. We actually say that more probably as chic, because that's another French, so that's how the French would pronounce it a little bit more. So this one is chic, chic. We kind of make that E sound a bit longer. This one, B, E, short E sound, B, E, sh, there's a schwa in there, Bechamel or bechamel. Maybe we'll say it that way. We'll put our spelling voices on to make sure we can spell it right. Bechamel, bechamel. Chiffon, chiffon. Chanson. Chandelier. This one's a big word, isn't it? Chandelier. Chandelier. 3-syllable word. Chandelier. Next one. Charade. Charade. And the last one is sh-a. That's making the z sound in this one. Sh-a's. Shays. Well done. There was lots of tricky words in there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to help us out a little bit. We've got some pictures to help me explain these to you, because you know what? Even I hadn't heard of some of these words before. Some of them were new to me too. Tricky French words with the CH making sh. Let's see how we go. Let's have a look. Chef. I think you've seen and heard of a chef before, haven't you? That one was probably one of the easier ones. So the chef, the person who cooks the meals in the restaurants. A chute. This slippery dip is a kind of a chute. So a chute is a narrow passage or a narrow thing that things slide down. People or things can slide down a chute. So on this one, a person is sliding down the slippery dip and it's a kind of chute. This person's looking very chic. Okay, chic. If you're chic, it means you're a little bit fancy and you're probably up with the latest fashion, bit chic. Bechamel, it's a kind of sauce. It's a really yummy sauce. It goes in your lasagna. Bechamel sauce, it's a white sauce. So bechamel. Chiffon, it's a really light, fluffy kind of fabric. If you've got any kind of princess dresses or tutus, some of them might have a bit of chiffon on them. It's a really pretty light fabric, often in beautiful colours too. Chanson, this is an interesting picture. Chanson it's an old French style of music. So back in the olden days in France, people would perform a chanson and they might use, they've got in this picture here, you might not be able to see it though, they've got an instrument, it's called a lute. It's kind of like a little bit of a guitar. It's not very loud and they might also use things like harps and stuff back then in chanson. Then we have a chandelier. Whoa, there's our beautiful chandelier, those beautiful shiny sparkly lights, the fancy lights that go in the houses and in some of the fancy places you might visit, a chandelier. A charade is when you try and tell someone something without saying any words. So I might say that you're watching a video, I might do it like this. That's a charade. You might say, I'm thinking of a square. That's a charade. So when you try and tell people information without using your words and you're using actions, you are playing a game called charades or doing a charade. And then this one, a chaise, it's a kind of lounge. It's a chair, a special chair that you can sit on and relax and put your feet up. So you might have a lounge with a chaise on it. Sometimes lots of people like to sit with their feet up on a chaise lounge. So that's what a chaise is. We're going to use these words all the way through this week, so you'll get to know them a little bit more as well. Okay, so tricky, but we can read them all. And now we've got a little bit more of an idea of what they're about, and we'll be able to understand them when we hear them in our next work. Reading activated. What's next in our lesson? Let's get ready for our writing. Remember, I put mine in the Elkinen boxes. You can write yours with a little space in between if you like, or you might draw boxes. Let's see. We've got CH and it's making shh. Don't get tricked. So when you hear shh, you're going to spell it with CH. Ready for our first word? Oh, now this one's a bit tricky because the way I say it isn't the way I spell it, but you saw it a little while ago and we talked about the E making a long sound. The first word is chic, chic. I was looking very chic when I dressed up and went out for dinner. Chic. Tap and say the sounds. Sh, E, k. Remember that E is making, it's that I making the long sort of E sound. We're holding on to the short it sound. So let's put it in the boxes. Sh, E, k. Tricky, just a C on the end. Say the sounds as you write it, then say the whole word. Sh, eek, chic. Our next word is shoot. Remember that passage that we can slide down like the slippery dip? Shoot. Say the sounds, tap and say the sounds in shoot. Sh, oo, t. The oo is a split vowel. Okay, ready? Sh, oo, and we've got that E making that long split vowel sound in shoot. Write the whole word. Sh, oo, t, shoot. Well done. These are tricky words. If you can learn to spell these, you are doing so well. Are you ready for the next one? Chiffon, that lovely fluffy fabric. Chiffons. Tap and say the sounds. Sh, I, f, o, n. Chiffon. Now it's a short it sound, so we need how many letter Fs to make the f? 2. Well done. Don't forget to double it. Sh, I, f, oh, n. Did you get it? Right, the whole word. I can't hear you loud enough saying those sounds as you're writing them. Make sure you keep saying them. Whole word as well. Sh, I, f, oh, n. Chiffon. Good job. One more word today. Ready? Our last word is going to be bechamel, like the sauce, that white creamy sauce. Bechamel. Tap and say the sounds in bechamel. I think I'm going to need 2 hands. You ready? B, e, sh, a, m, e, ul. Bechamel. Whoa. Have a go of writing it. Say the sounds. B, e, sh, a, m, e, ul. Just enough room. Say the whole word. B, e, sh, a, m, e, ul. Bechamel. And if I was Garfield, I would know all about bechamel sauce because lasagna is my favourite food. So you might like lasagna too. You might be just like Garfield and like lasagna, and you would know all about bechamel sauce. Guess what? It's the end of our lesson. We've reached the time for us to look at our learning review. Are you ready to review our learning? Our learning intention was to use the grapheme CH to represent the sh sound to read and write words. We've done that. We've read and written some really tricky words today. So good on you for doing that. Remember that the CH making sh spelling pattern comes from French words. So lots of the words that you see that have CH making sh are from France. They're from the French. Ready for your independent activity? On your screen, you will have a table. You need to copy the following table into your book. Can you fill in the missing pieces? And you can draw pictures in the last column. So have a think back to the part of the lesson where we were explaining what all the things were and all the words, because what you're going to do is you're going to write some of those tricky CH making sh words and look at their meanings, and you might have to write in some of the meanings too. So see how you go with it. If you need to, you can always rewind the video and check it. Excellent, good job. Thank you for joining with me today to do all those tricky CH making sh words. You did so well. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.